guys, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for pressing on my video. You are a gem. This is Hornet, and this week's video is going to be how to help a loved one that dissociates, or something along those lines. So let's just get right into it. First of all, what is dissociation?
I had to kill a bug. I'm back now.
You'd think I'd be against killing bugs because of my name, but I don't like bugs. Dissociation is something that everyone will experience to some extent, but it can become severe in some people. Dissociation is basically being disconnected from the here and now. If it happens to a system, it can be a tell that they're going to switch, but not always. It can take the form of zoning out, time seeming to slow down, being out of your body or watching from the outside, not recognizing yourself in the mirror, feeling like you're watching a movie about your life, and much more. Dissociation is commonly the result of DID or OSDD, trauma, other dissociative disorders, and PTSD. So what signs should you look out for? Spacing out, repeating themselves, seeming not to hear you, a glazed look in their eye, not responding, struggling to answer you, acting differently or using a different tone of voice, such as dreamy or flat,
Here she is.
seeming suddenly tired, losing track of the topic of conversation, speaking slowly or slurring or like they're intoxicated, being unable to finish their sentence. They can become catatonic, which if you don't know what that is, catatonia is a marked lack of movement, facial expression, and activity. Going quiet and seeming disinterested but not annoyed in the conversation. Fidgeting, squirming, or repeating movements. And for my system specifically, we have noticed that we will hard blink when we're feeling the dissociation come on. Also, sounding apologetic that they can't follow the situation is a sign of dissociating, not that they're doing it on purpose. Gonna put a little disclaimer in here. This can and probably will differentiate from person to person. So if you know that someone you love dissociates, it's always a good idea to ask them beforehand what they need from you in that situation. This will be a learning process, so don't worry if you're not perfect on the first time. Nobody's expecting that. It's okay for you not to do the exact right thing for your loved one right away, but they will really appreciate your effort to help, trust me. So what should you do? If you catch the dissociation early on before it gets too bad, it's always a good idea to try to get them to drink water or some form of drink, but water helps the most. If you're out somewhere or with others, remove the person from the situation and bring them somewhere calm, quiet, and private. If they haven't done this already, that means that they probably can't do it and they'll need your help to do that. Speak in a calm and soothing voice. Be reassuring, and tell them that it's okay and to take their time. Give them something familiar to focus on, like a song, movie, or TV show. Describe where you and the person that's dissociating are in detail, but not big words, if that makes sense. So try to use simple words, but describe where you are in detail, like you are in a room with white walls, you are sitting on a bed, very simple terms, but in detail, because that can help them kind of ground into the reality of where you are. Sometimes the person will want to be alone, and that is okay. If that's the case, bring them somewhere calm, quiet, and safe, and just leave them alone, because they'll be able to figure it out on their own, believe it or not. You can also help them with grounding techniques, which will be coming up at the end of the video. If you're with other people, don't draw attention to the situation, because that is really awkward and embarrassing for the person that's dissociating, for everyone to be staring at them. Just try not to draw attention to it, okay? Like that, please. I feel like that's common sense, but maybe not. This is a big one. Don't do that. That is so startling. Don't do it. Just don't do it. You might think you're helping, you're not. Don't try to talk to them too much. Just limit your talking if you can, because if you're trying to hold a conversation with someone that's dissociating, they won't be able to process or understand it very well because they're dissociating. So it'll just further distress them, and that's just not a good idea. I don't know. While we're on that topic, don't expect them to talk to you very much, if at all, because they are dissociating. They will be unable to talk to you very much or at all. Don't touch them unless you have previous permission. That's a big one, because touch can be very overstimulating when you're dissociated. So if you aren't sure if the person wants to be touched, just play it safe and don't touch them. Don't expect them to be able to snap out of it. This is another obvious one, I think. Don't yell or raise your voice at them. If snapping or waving can be startling, I'm sure you can imagine what yelling can do. If you know that touching your dissociating loved one is okay, then you can always rub their back or their neck. This is a good way to ground them into the sensations of their body instead of being off somewhere else. Have them breathe slowly in tandem with you, or you can search up breathing gifts online and have them watch those, because those are also pretty helpful. If they're sitting or lying down, you can have them plant a foot firmly on the floor. This can literally ground the person, if that makes sense. You can also use the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, which is 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Keep them from swaying, rocking, or doing any other rhythmic motion that might be trancing them. When they're breathing, or if you're doing the tandem breathing with them, it's helpful to breathe in like you're smelling cookies and breathe out like you're blowing bubbles. So, like that. Also, if you double your exhalations, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to help. So if you go in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if that makes any sense, that's a good way to calm down if they're having any anxiety from dissociating. And our last grounding technique is have them eat something spicy or hold an ice cube in their mouth or their hand. This should, not always, but should shock their nervous system back into reality. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, other things, I don't really know. I'm not a YouTuber by any means. I'm just doing this because Minnie wanted me to film it today, so I hope you didn't mind that it was me in the video and not someone who is more present on the channel. Nice to meet you guys again, since I haven't actually been on the channel since we revamped it, but this has been Hornet from the Maury system, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye!